Hi everybody. So I am going to be cooking some baked ziti tonight. So I figured I'd show you how to do it. The girls have not had baked ziti yet, but they've had a lot of pasta dishes, so I imagine they're going to really like it. So yeah, let's go over the ingredients. Okay, so I've already cooked the ziti. We have a box of ziti, 1 pound box of ziti. And I've already cooked the sweet Italian sausage, a pound to a pound and a half, depending on how much sausage you like. And along with that, we have 2 tablespoons of olive oil over here. We have our 1 onion, and I diced it. We have 3 cloves of garlic, or more if you prefer more, depending on how much garlic you like in your Italian foods. We have 24 ounces, 1 jar of Rouse tomato sauce. We have diced tomatoes. It's about 14 ounces of diced tomatoes. We have a cup of water over here. And what else do we have? I used fresh basil and oregano, but if you use dried, it's going to be about a teaspoon of dried basil and a teaspoon of dried oregano. If you use the fresh stuff, you can use as much or as little as you want. I just grab a handful and just cut it up. And then 2 to 3 bay leaves. We also have 8 ounces of fresh mozzarella cubed, and I have a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, and then I'm going to get a cup of shredded mozzarella cheese as well. So let's get to cooking. Okay, so I have this pan. It's getting warm. We're going to throw in our 2 tablespoons of oil. We're going to let that get simmering. I'm actually going to bump the heat up so it gets simmers a little bit more. So this is, you know, something that I really like to put together. It's great as a leftover. I feel like Italian foods like ziti and lasagna are really, really great the next day. We're going to be eating this soon, not tomorrow. Don't forget to preheat your oven. I definitely forgot to do that, so I'm going to go turn the oven on. Preheat it to 350. So Daddy is actually, he surprise came home just for the night. So he's watching the girls, so I'm actually cooking this at dinner time, or just before dinner time. They're going to be hungry in probably about, what is it? Yeah, maybe a half an hour. So they might not be eating this for dinner, but like I said, it's great as leftovers. This is going to take a little bit longer. I don't know if they can hold out for it. So once that starts getting nice and warmed up, we're going to put our onions and our garlic in there. I'm going to do the garlic first. And I put the heat back down to medium because we don't want to overcook anything. We don't want to burn our garlic. Get all my miscellaneous stuff off of here. I really should start putting the onions in their own little container, but I don't. So we have the olive oil, the garlic, all of the onions. And we're just going to brown it really nice. You know, just till it gets nice and soft. There's a few of these that I'm going to try to, I should have grabbed a different spoon. I'm going to try to make it a little smaller. So we're probably going to saute this for like 2 to 3 minutes. Get that nice smell and sizzle in there. So I hope everybody's getting ready for Christmas. I am attempting to get ready for Christmas. I've been wrapping a lot of gifts. Now, I will probably be doing a Christmas cooking video. We are going to have pork cheddar, which we just pick up at the butcher, and you just throw it in the oven and roast it low and slow for a couple of hours. But I'll do some sides along with it. I'm not sure which sides. I haven't decided that yet. But for Christmas, we, especially when it's, pretty close to Thanksgiving, we don't usually do a turkey. We sometimes do, but usually we'll do steaks or sometimes a ham. But I think this year we're going to do the pork cheddar. It's super, super yummy. Alright, so now that that's mostly browned, we're going to take our sausage and we're going to put it back in there. So I cooked this earlier. It's already fully cooked. I'm going to put everything in there. Put this in the thing. I'm just going to mix all that back in. Now I did drain the sausage when it was done cooking. You don't have to, but sometimes sausage gets a little greasy, so I like to drain it. Alright, so now we're going to put in our diced tomatoes. Anastasia's absolute favorite. We're going to put our pasta sauce in there with the diced tomatoes. Now, if you don't really care for the diced tomatoes, you don't have to put them in. It really does freshen up, especially if you're using a jarred sauce. Now, I do like the Rouse because it is, the freshest tasting sauce to me. But if you're not making your own sauce, fresh tomatoes really does brighten it up. You can use less. You can dice them up smaller. You can cook it in there and then pick it all out if you want. We're just going to serve it all together. Mix that in there. Looks so yummy already. And we're going to add our water. And our basil. Like I said, you can use fresh, you can use the dried, totally up to you. Our oregano. I'm gonna crack a little bit of pepper over top of it. Mix that all together. as much or as little as you like. And I'm also going to do a tiny little shake of salt. Stir that all in there. Oh, I hear the girls. And we're going to throw in our bay leaves. We are going to fish these out later, so I would say try not to bury them too much. And we're going to leave this and we're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes. All right, so we'll be back after 30 minutes. Okay, so we're finished with the sauce now. I've turned the heat off and I'm just going to pick out the bay leaves. So you want to pick them out. That's why you don't want to bury them too deep in there. Otherwise you're fishing around for a little while. So I'm going to turn my heat back on. I did turn it off. Give it a nice good stir. It smells so amazing. And we're going to add our cooked ziti. Now, I didn't fully cook it. It is, I was supposed to cook it for 11 minutes. I only cooked it for 8. The rest of the cooking is going to happen. It's going to absorb all the sauce seasoning. Just want to put the lid out of the way. So we're going to dump our ziti in there. I don't know how to do this without blocking the camera. Whoop. A noodle fell on the floor. Bino is a happy boy. So this is my hot messness. I did not realize it was going to slip out of there as quickly as it did. So you just want to kind of hold those noodles in there without really messing with them too much. You don't want them clumpy, but you don't want to mush them in there. You know what I mean? Just give it a nice good stir. And they're going to absorb any and all of that liquid. So the girls will definitely be eating this tomorrow. So I'm not going to be doing the plating. I'm just going to be doing the cooking video. Obviously, in the description, I will put the link to the video of them eating. Oh, that looks so good. All right, so that's mostly mixed up in there. So now we want to add the Parmesan cheese. So this is fresh Parmesan cheese. I freshly grated it. You can use the sprinkle Parmesan cheese if you'd like. I'm just going to mix that in there. I like to do a half a cup. You can do less if you don't like it quite as cheesy. I love cheese. I'll probably add cheese to the top of this. Like when I dish out my dish, I'll probably put cheese on it. When I dish out the girls' dishes, I'll probably put a little extra shredded Parmesan cheese on top. So once that's all in there, you want to take your shredded mozzarella. Now we're going to throw in our fresh. We'll let that get a little melty in there too. So I did pretty giant cubes of this. You can do smaller cubes if you want, but I like having like a bite and it's just like a nice big, juicy, stringy, cheesy mess. Like I love that. It's obviously it's not going to really melt in this pan right now. We'll just stir it in there a little bit. Get that all nice and saucy. I'm going to put our mozzarella cheese just on top. I might do more mozzarella, more shredded mozzarella than the 1 cup, but we'll see. Now, that's a great thing I love about cooking is you can basically do like anything within like the ingredients, like any kind of measurement, you know, it doesn't have to be exact with cooking. It's different with baking. Baking, the measurements are very precise, very exact, very scientific almost. It's like chemistry with food. But cooking, it's a little bit more lenient. You know, you can add, if you want more meat in your ziti, you can add more meat. You don't have to add any meat at all. You can add more cheese, less cheese. The only thing I tell everybody to steer clear of is you don't want to add too much salt. Salt is great to help bring out flavors, but you don't want to add too much of it. I'm going to turn my heat off, and now that I can see that some of these like pieces of mozzarella are starting to get a little soft, we're going to dump it in our dish. Now feel free to grease your dish if you feel like you need to. I'm not going to grease my dish. Actually, I think I can. I'm going to transfer it right in front of the camera. So I actually acquired this dish from my grandmother. Apparently it's a very, very sought after dish. It's one of those, oh, I forget what the heck you call them now. But I have all of, you know, these designs. I have the blue designs. I really, really love these dishes. And they bake really well, but I did not grease this. You can grease it if you'd like. So we're just gonna dump it all in there. I hope you can see me doing it. Awkwardly. I'm gonna put this back over here. I'm probably blocking the camera right now, but so we dumped all of that in there. Let's see. Slide this over. It is a heat resistant bowl, so there we go. So we're just gonna mix that in there. You can see the mozzarella. Oh, dropped another noodle. There you go, Beano. The mozzarella is starting to melt in there, which is great. So I'm going to kind of level this as much as possible. And we're gonna top it with the shredded mozzarella. As Beano eats the noodle I dropped on the floor. He's gotten very lucky. I keep dropping noodles everywhere. Now we're going to cover this with aluminum foil, and I'm going to bake it for about another 30 minutes. Excuse me, Beano, I have to get the aluminum foil. Now, if your ziti goes up like closer to the top, you want to lightly grease the foil so the cheese doesn't stick to it. But I love this dish just because it gives me a couple of inches. So this way the foil is not going to stick to the cheese. But it's a trick if you do mozzarella or if you do lasagna. Just throw a little grease, a little bit of oil, really. All right, now I'm going to pop this in for 30 minutes and we'll be right back. All right, so we are back, and it's been 30 minutes. Left it in for 30 minutes, and that is our baked ziti. Now you can put a little more cheese on top if you'd like, and put the broiler on and brown the cheese. But you know, I just kind of like it creamy like this. No need to brown it, in my opinion. But hope you enjoyed the video. That is the baked ziti. Like I said, in the description below, I will put a link to the girls eating it, and I'm sure they'll enjoy it. But yeah, we'll see you later. Bye.